Hey, what's up guys, Will here for GSM Arena. The Xiaomi Mi 10T Lite 5G is one of the newest Mi 10 series phones to come out. With Lite in the name, you know this one is a mid-ranger, and knowing Xiaomi, it's bound to have a bunch of bang for your buck. So let's see what the Mi 10T Lite brings to the table in our full review. The Mi 10T Lite brings looks that are reminiscent of the Poco X3, at least on the back, thanks to its rectangular camera arrangement. However, here the back is made of Gorilla Glass with a glossy gradient finish. The frame is still made from plastic though, and is matte, not glossy, which offers a bit of extra grip. The phone's curved back adds a bit of comfort in the hand too, but at 215 grams, the Mi 10 Lite is actually not that light. On the front is a 6.67-inch IPS LCD with a 1080p resolution, and a fast 120Hz refresh rate. The fast refresh rate means moving elements, like when swiping or scrolling, look much smoother. We were surprised by the cutout for the selfie cam. It's one of the smallest we've seen on an LCD, and unlike many competitors, we didn't notice any glow or backlight bleed around it. Overall, we like this display. It's HDR10 compliant and plenty bright. We measured almost 600 nits of maximum brightness in auto mode when out in the sun. Colors look good, and you can tune them to be reasonably accurate in settings. And the fast refresh rate is adaptive to your content, switching seamlessly to fit once on screen. Xiaomi also didn't cut corners in the audio department. The Mi 10T Lite features a set of stereo speakers, with one speaker at the bottom and the other doubling as the earpiece. The sound quality isn't exceptional, it's unbalanced with the bottom speaker much louder than the top one, but vocals sound clear and the overall loudness is good too.
I'm wide awake, but you're a nightmare. I can't escape, I'm seeing you everywhere.
In addition, there's a 3.5mm audio jack on the Mi 10T Lite for plugging in traditional headphones, and support for FM radio. Waking up and unlocking the phone is easy with the side-mounted fingerprint reader. We like its concave shape, and is super fast and responsive. What you won't find on this device though is expandable storage. You'll have to make do with a 64 or 128 gigs of storage on board. At the time of this review, the Mi 10T Lite doesn't run the latest Android 11, but Android 10. However, the interface is Xiaomi's new MIUI 12. One major feature of MIUI 12 is that the notification shade can be divided into two different drop-down menus, one for notifications, and one for your quick settings called the Control Center, very similar to Apple's iOS. And you can not only keep your apps on the home screen, but you can have them in an app drawer. The app drawer will automatically arrange your apps into categories too. And a cool feature is that there's a space for quick shortcuts always available when gaming, which you'll access by swiping from the upper corners of the screen. These include plenty of functions, and you can even launch apps. One of the more unique features of the Mi 10T Lite is its new Snapdragon 750G 5G chipset. It's built on an 8nm process, and its performance is pretty great for a mid-range chip. It's comparable to the Snapdragon 765G. This one offers better CPU performance, but falls a bit behind GPU-wise. Games still run really smoothly of course, especially if you can find some that can take advantage of the display with a high frame rate. And of course, you get support for 5G network connectivity too. Battery life is another area in which the Mi 10T Lite does a great job. With its 4,820 mAh battery, it was able to score an excellent 116-hour endurance rating in our proprietary tests. And charging speed is excellent too, with the 33-watt fast charger that ships in the box. We were able to charge the Mi 10T Lite from 0 to 68% in half an hour. Now on to the cameras. There's a quad camera setup, with a 64-megapixel quad Bayer main cam, an 8-megapixel ultra-wide-angle cam, a 2-megapixel macro camera, and a depth sensor. Photos from the main camera come out in 16 megapixels, and these are decent. They have nice colors, low noise, and a good level of detail. However, sharpness leaves a bit more to be desired. Since there's no dedicated telephoto camera, zooming is done through a digital crop from the main cam. These aren't tack sharp due to the upscaling, but they aren't too bad. Portraits are taken with the main camera too. You get well-exposed faces with quite a bit of detail, and the edge detection is pretty accurate in simple scenes. But we did notice that it had some trouble with a more complex hairstyle. Shots from the ultra-wide camera are okay for this price range, but nothing special. You do get the ultra-wide effect you'd want, with good distortion correction, but there's visible noise and softness, and clipped highlights here and there. Close-up shots taken with the macro camera are okay, with nice colors. These can be tricky to shoot due to the lack of autofocus, and don't expect a ton of detail from a 2-megapixel sensor. In low light, the main camera performs about how you'd expect for a phone in this price range. You get relatively well-preserved detail, realistic colors, and good contrast. But there's plenty of noise, clipped highlights, and the photos are overall a bit soft. If you turn on night mode, each photo takes a few seconds to capture and process. The effect is worth it though. You get a more clear overall picture, with more detail, less noise, added sharpness, and more balanced highlights and shadows. Low-light photos taken with the ultra-wide camera look muddy and almost out of focus. There's a bunch of noise and clipped highlights too. However, with night mode on, you will be able to capture some half-decent ultra-wide shots, with cleared up noise and more detail in the shadows. Light sources look better too. Selfies are taken with a 16-megapixel front-facing cam, and these are detailed and sharp enough. Faces come out well exposed, and the colors are accurate in general. There is some visible noise though, especially if the lighting isn't ideal. Videos can be recorded with the main camera in up to 4K at 30 FPS. These are good looking, with nice colors and contrast and low noise. The ultra-wide camera can take video in up to 1080p resolution, and the results aren't impressive. These are a bit grainy and soft. While there is video stabilization available, it's only for 1080p resolution, not 4K. Regardless, the EIS does a good job in smoothing out handheld video. So that's the Xiaomi Mi 10T Lite 5G. You get a solid glass build, a great LCD screen with a high refresh rate, stereo speakers, excellent battery life with fast charging, a snappy interface, and solid chipset performance. Overall, it's feature-packed and a great deal for the money. It is worth mentioning that if you went for the similarly named and similarly priced Mi 10 Lite 5G, you would get an AMOLED display and a better main camera. But if that's not something you care about, then the Mi 10T Lite 5G is definitely worth recommending. Thanks for watching guys, stay safe and see you on the next one.